I should have known something was wrong when my wife Samantha started giggling like a teenager every time her phone buzzed. But hey, I'm just an IT guy who fixes computers for a living. What do I know about reading people? The answer came crashing down on my 43rd birthday. I'd gotten off work early, excited to tell Sam about my promotion. Walking into our suburban home, I heard voices from the kitchen. Sam and her friends were already here for my birthday dinner prep. I was about to announce my good news when I caught fragments of their conversation. "He's so clueless," Sam was saying, her voice dripping with amusement. "I swear my ex Rick could walk through the front door right now and Dave would probably offer him a beer." The laughter that followed felt like ice water in my veins. "You're terrible, Sam," Melinda, her best friend, giggled. "But honestly, it's kind of sweet how naive he is." "Sweet?" Sam scoffed. "Try boring. Rick never would have put up with my moods the way Dave does." I stood frozen in my own hallway, promotion forgotten, listening to my wife of 15 years dissect our marriage like a biology experiment. An hour later, we were at Romano's, the upscale Italian place Sam had picked for my birthday dinner. The table was full. Sam's usual crew of real estate agent friends, all perfectly coiffed and armed with wine glasses like weapons. That's when Sam stood up, tapping her glass with her wedding ring. The irony wasn't lost on me. "Ladies, I have an announcement," she declared, her voice carrying across the restaurant. "I've decided to implement some new rules for my husband." The table erupted in anticipatory giggles. I felt my face burning as other diners turned to stare. "Rule number 1, Sam continued, clearly enjoying herself. "Dave will only come home when I say it's okay. No more surprise visits during my me time." More laughter. I gripped my wine glass so hard I thought it might shatter. "Rule number 2, he'll ask permission before making any social plans. I'm tired of him assuming I want to hang out with his boring computer friends." The women were practically cackling now. But what made my blood run cold was the smug face I spotted at the bar. Rick Morrison, Sam's ex-boyfriend from college. He raised his beer bottle in a mock toast, winking at Sam. That's when everything clicked into place. The late nights, the new lingerie, the sudden interest in girls' trips. My wife wasn't just humiliating me publicly, she was doing it in front of the man she was cheating with. I forced a smile and raised my glass. "To new rules," I said, my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. But as Sam basked in her friend's approval, I was already planning something she hadn't counted on. You see, being an IT guy has its advantages. I know all about surveillance systems, digital footprints, and how to gather evidence. Sam wanted new rules? Fine. I'd give her some rules she'd never forget. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The next morning, Sam left for a client meeting that I knew damn well was really a rendezvous with Rick. As soon as her car disappeared down the street, I got to work. First stop, our home security system. Sam never paid attention to the technical details. She just knew it kept us safe. What she didn't know was that I'd upgraded it 6 months ago with motion-activated cameras covering every entrance and high-definition audio recording. I pulled up the footage from the past 2 weeks and felt my stomach drop. There was Rick, bold as brass, walking through my front door on Tuesday afternoon. Thursday evening. Saturday morning while I was at Home Depot. Son of a bitch, I muttered, downloading everything to an encrypted drive. My phone buzzed. A text from Sam. "Working late tonight. Don't wait up. Remember the new rules." I screenshot the message and added it to my growing file. That evening, I met my best friend Rob at Murphy's Tavern, a blue-collar dive where everyone knew everyone's business. Rob owned the place, and after 20 years of friendship, he could read me like a book. "You look like someone pissed in your cornflakes," he said, sliding a beer across the bar. I filled him in on everything. The birthday humiliation, the surveillance footage, Rick's smug face. Rob listened without interruption, his expression growing darker with each detail. "That's cold, even for Sam," he said finally. "What's your play?" "I'm gathering evidence. Divorce court won't know what hit them." Rob shook his head. "Dave, you're thinking too small. You want to hurt them? Hit them where it really matters, their reputations." He had a point. In our suburban community, image was everything. Sam's real estate career depended on her squeaky clean reputation. Rick ran a financial consulting firm built on trust and family values. "What are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting you stop playing defense and start playing offense. You've got the goods on them. Now use it." That night, I lay awake planning my next move. Sam came home at 2 a.m., reeking of cologne that definitely wasn't mine. She slipped into bed like nothing had happened. "How was work?" I asked quietly. "Exhausting," she lied without missing a beat. "Big client. Very demanding." "I bet," I replied. The next morning, I implemented phase 1 of my plan. I created anonymous social media accounts and began strategically sharing information. Nothing illegal, just public records, business reviews, and carefully cropped photos that raised questions without making accusations. By Thursday, the whispers had started. Sam came home agitated, complaining that people were asking weird questions about her work schedule. Rick, meanwhile, had 3 clients cancel meetings after someone shared an old DUI arrest from his college days. "It's probably just coincidence," I told Sam, hiding my satisfaction behind fake sympathy. But I was just getting started. Friday night, Sam announced another girls' night. I waited an hour, then drove to Rick's bachelor pad across town. Sure enough, Sam's BMW was parked in his driveway. I sat in my car, watching their silhouettes through the window, and felt something cold settle in my chest. This wasn't just about cheating anymore. It was about respect, about justice. I pulled out my phone and made a call. "Murphy's Tavern, Rob speaking. It's me. Remember that favor you owe me? I'm ready to collect." Saturday morning arrived with a text from Sam. "Spa day with Melinda. Back tonight. Love you." More lies. I knew from tracking her phone, a feature she'd forgotten I'd set up for safety, that she was heading to the Marriott downtown. Rick had booked a room under his company name. Time for the nuclear option. I'd spent all night preparing a comprehensive dossier, photos, timestamps, financial records showing Rick's payments to the hotel, even screenshots of their text messages from Sam's cloud backup. Everything legal, everything devastating. My first stop was Sam's real estate office. I walked in carrying a manila envelope and asked to speak with her boss, Janet Morrison, no relation to Rick despite the name. "I'm concerned about some of Sam's recent behavior," I told Janet, sliding the photos across her desk. "I thought you should know before it affects the company's reputation." Janet's face went white as she flipped through the evidence. "Oh my God, Dave, I had no idea." "Neither did I until recently. I'm not asking you to fire her. Just be aware that this might become public soon." Next stop, Rick's office. His business partner, Tom Bradley, was a family friend who'd invited us to barbecues and birthday parties. He deserved to know what kind of man he was partnering with. Tom's reaction was even stronger than Janet's. "That lying piece of garbage," he muttered, studying a photo of Rick and Sam entering the hotel. "We just landed the Westfield Church account. They'll drop us in a heartbeat if this gets out." "I'm sorry, Tom. I thought you should hear it from me first." By noon, both bombs had been planted. Now came the fun part. I drove to the Marriott and positioned myself in the lobby with a clear view of the elevators. At 2:47 p.m., Sam and Rick emerged, looking disheveled and satisfied. They were holding hands, completely oblivious to their surroundings. I waited until they reached the parking garage, then made my move. "Fancy meeting you here," I called out, stepping from behind a concrete pillar. Sam went white as a sheet. Rick, to his credit, tried to play it off. "Dave, what a coincidence. We were just—" "Fucking in room 412," I interrupted. Yeah, I know. The desk clerk is very chatty when you tip him $20. Sam found her voice. Dave, this isn't what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like my wife of 15 years is screwing her ex-boyfriend in a cheap hotel room while I'm home doing laundry. Rick stepped forward, puffing out his chest. Look, man, maybe we should talk about this like adults. I laughed, a harsh sound that echoed off the concrete walls. Adults? You want to talk like adults? Okay, let's start with you explaining to Tom Bradley why the Westfield Church is about to fire your company. The color drained from Rick's face. What are you talking about? Or maybe Sam can explain to Janet Morrison why 3 of her biggest clients called this morning asking about her professionalism. Sam grabbed my arm. Dave, what did you do? I shrugged her off. I told the truth. Novel concept, I know. Rick was pulling out his phone, probably calling Tom. Sam was crying, her perfect makeup running down her cheeks. This is just the beginning, I told them both. You wanted to play games? Congratulations, you just leveled up. I walked away, leaving them standing in the parking garage like the pathetic cheaters they were. Behind me, I could hear Sam sobbing and Rick cursing, but I wasn't done, not even close. Sunday evening, I was reviewing my next moves when the doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Melinda standing on my porch, looking uncharacteristically nervous. We need to talk, she said when I opened the door. I let her in, curious about what Sam's best friend wanted to discuss. Melinda had always been polite to me, if a bit distant. Tonight, she seemed almost guilty. Dave, I know you're angry, she began, perching on the edge of our couch. But Sam never meant for things to go this far. Really? Because humiliating me at my own birthday dinner seemed pretty intentional. Melinda winced. That was my idea. I thought if Sam asserted some dominance, you might step up more. Be more of a man. Something in her tone made me pause. Your idea? Look, I've watched you two for years. Sam deserves someone who challenges her, who matches her energy. You're nice, Dave, but nice doesn't keep a marriage exciting. The pieces were clicking together in my head. So you encouraged her to reconnect with Rick? Melinda's silence was answer enough. Jesus Christ, I breathed. This whole thing was your plan. I wanted my friend to be happy. Bullshit! The word came out harder than I intended. You wanted to break us up. The question is why. Melinda stood abruptly. I should go. Sit down. My voice carried an authority that surprised us both. You came here to confess, so confess. She sank back onto the couch, tears starting to flow. You ruined my life 3 years ago. I stared at her, genuinely confused. What are you talking about? The Patterson house. The one I was supposed to list, until you told Bill Patterson that I'd been sleeping with his neighbor's husband. The memory came flooding back. Bill Patterson, a client whose computer I'd fixed, asking me about local real estate agents. I'd mentioned seeing Melinda's car at Jake Morrison's house at odd hours, not knowing Jake was married. That was just conversation. That was a $100,000 commission, Melinda exploded. I lost the biggest sale of my career because of your gossiping. So you decided to destroy my marriage? I decided to give Sam what she really wanted. Excitement, passion, someone who wouldn't judge her for having needs. I felt a cold rage building in my chest. And Rick was just convenient? Rick was perfect. He never got over Sam, and he hated you for stealing her in college. The manipulation was breathtaking. Melinda had orchestrated everything, the birthday dinner, the public humiliation, probably even suggested the hotel meetings. Does Sam know? I asked quietly. Melinda shook her head. She thinks it was all her idea. Rick thinks he seduced her, but I planted every seed, made every suggestion. I stood up, pacing to the window. Outside, our suburban street looked peaceful, normal. Inside, My world was burning down thanks to a vindictive woman's 3-year revenge plot. "Well," I said finally, turning back to Melinda, "I guess I owe you a thank you." She looked confused. "What?" "You've given me everything I need to destroy all 3 of you." Melinda's face went pale. "Dave, please, get out of my house." After she left, I sat in my kitchen, staring at the ceiling. The betrayal was worse than I'd imagined. Not just adultery, but calculated manipulation spanning years. But Melinda had made one crucial mistake. She'd confessed everything, and I'd recorded every word. Time for the final act. Monday morning, I called in sick to work and got busy. First, I uploaded Melinda's confession to a secure server. Then I created a group text including Sam, Rick, Melinda, and a dozen of their mutual friends and colleagues. The message was simple. Garage sale at my house Saturday, 9 a.m. Everything must go. But the real show would happen before then. Wednesday evening, I intercepted Sam as she was leaving for another client meeting. "Actually," I said, blocking her path to the garage, "I need you to stay home tonight." She looked annoyed. "Dave, we talked about this. The new rules. The rules have changed." I pulled out my phone and played Melinda's confession. Sam's face went through a fascinating range of expressions: confusion, recognition, horror, and finally, rage. "That bitch," she whispered, "took the words right out of my mouth." "Dave, you have to understand, I never meant for any of this to happen. Melinda, she kept pushing, saying I deserved better." "Save it." I held up my hand. I'm done listening to lies. Thursday, I met Tom Bradley in the parking lot of Rick's office. "I already fired him," Tom said. "Word's out. No one wants to work with him." "Good," I said, "but I'm not finished." I found Rick later at Murphy's, drunk and broken. "Come to gloat?" he slurred. "No," I said, "to thank you. You showed me who my wife really is, and who I can become." Friday night, Sam showed up in the lingerie I'd bought her years ago, tears in her eyes. "We can fix this," she whispered. "It's too late," I said. Saturday morning, my driveway became a theater. Tables lined with Sam's designer clothes, Rick's golf clubs, Melinda's jewelry. The crowd gathered fast, neighbors, co-workers, everyone who loved gossip. Sam arrived with Rick in tow. "You can't sell my things." "Actually," I said, "I can." Then I played Melinda's confession over the speaker, her voice admitting every lie, every manipulation. The street went silent. "Who wants a cheating wife's wedding dress?" I asked. "Lightly used." Rick lunged and tripped over Sam's shoes. The crowd laughed and clapped. By noon, the dress was sold, the reputation destroyed, and my lawyer texted, "Divorce filed, you win." They'd played games. I'd played strategy. Checkmate.